Joseph Beach, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Shisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
You know, when I look over the internet, I see a lot of people doing great things. A lot of people doing really good things. Some men trying to mentor the youth in a really positive way. And then you have other people, a lot of women out here who are married, most of them, trying to help out other women, Black women in specific. And I just want to acknowledge that these women are out here doing a good job, first of all. There's this conversation that's happening amongst women who usually serve modern women coffee and try to help a lot of these chicks out. And listen, these women are making progress. I see the comments below. I see the younger girls who are like, hey, I don't want to end up single alone. No cat. I look at these women. I'm not like them. I do not want to make the same mistakes. I do not want to die alone. But there's this conversation that's being had. And the conversation that's being had was posed by one of the women who asked who can correct Black women. And that question is obviously stemmed in the challenges that faced in Black women saying, you don't have the right, or you can't correct me. Doesn't matter if you're married. Doesn't matter if you have the products and the results of the life that I personally want. And they'll claim that it's not what they want. They want something magical that doesn't exist. But we know they don't believe they should listen to anybody. And so this woman wanted to know, so who can correct Black women? No more wasting time. Let's check it out.
Let me start this video by saying I am being sincere. I genuinely want to know. I am making this video so I can gain an understanding. So no one can question Black women. No one can correct Black women. No one can offer information and advice to Black women. Nobody. And I know you're probably thinking, Ash, where are you going with this? This is not a question. I see so many women come onto this app, not all, but some, a lot, to be honest, and say they're having a problem with something. And you will have people offer advice, and they will say, no, that's not it. People will make videos where they are blatantly wrong in what they did. And people will come and say, you're asking if you're right or wrong. We're here to tell you that you're wrong. No, I'm not.
Wow.
You will have
Are we surprised, gentlemen? Are we surprised, ladies and gentlemen? Are we surprised? Let's keep listening.
people that will make a video. Example, I'm never approached by men. What am I doing wrong? Well, maybe you're not approachable. No, you're wrong. Help me to understand who can say anything to Black women. If Black women can't critique and correct Black women, Black men cannot critique and correct Black women, because you need to stay out of women's business. We know the counterparts can't say anything, which I understand. Who can? I'm just trying to figure this out, because no matter what content that I put out, it is always with the greatest of intent to help improve my community. Now, we may not always agree, and I respect that. But why is it that everything that I say is looked at as a negative? It's looked at as I'm being a pick-me. It's looked at like, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so when the Black men come and say, hey, ladies, y'all are saying that y'all are having problem with Black men, here's why. No, it's not. Who can correct us? I genuinely want to know. I genuinely want to hear what y'all got to say in the comment section.
Wow. You know, I just realized something. To men out here who have a woman, a Black woman, like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm just happy that that's the only woman who I'm obligated to cooperate with. You know, the thing that's not being said that I'm sure it wouldn't matter anyways is that we all accept correction. Sometimes I need to be corrected. Sometimes my wife needs to be corrected. But there are a group of people on this earth, and there are a lot of Black women who believe that nobody should ever correct them. And unfortunately, they don't even have husbands. So at that point, nobody can check them, not even their boss. They will quit. And at that point, nobody can correct them. Let's read some of these comments. Let's see what they had to say. Guys, I looked and they're nowhere to be found. They said,
Put that coffee down.
No, I mean that. Just a bunch of people who agree with this chick, like this comment that says, God himself. And somebody else who responded says, not even him. Here's somebody else who says, the white boss man with the laughing emoji says, gentlemen. Here's somebody else who says, only the bear with the fire emoji. She responded. The actual content creator says, I don't know what makes them trust a bear. And by the way, everybody's links will be in the description who is in this video. Yeah, I don't know why they don't want to trust a bear. Correction is good, man. Correction is good. The Bible says that God chastens those he loves. Correction is good. If someone cares about you, they're going to correct you. When you care about somebody, it comes from a place of love in most cases. Somebody else here says, life will. And somebody responded back and says, bingo. Here's somebody else who says, I said something to my ex. Okay, we got a gentleman here who actually tried. He tried to correct one of these women who could not be corrected. He said, I said something to my ex. She said, I'm not her daddy. He goes on to say, and then I saw her daddy tell her something and she blocked him. Oh man, nobody is probably the answer. Oof. So what happens to you if you walk through life not believing in God either, because they'll claim to believe in God, but they're picking and they're choosing. No man, no husband to correct them. Ready to quit a job if things get too disrespectful. At least that woman there actually grew up with a present father, but what if they don't have a present father? Who's there to correct you? Correction is so important. Oh, they're going to correct each other, the sisterhood who do it. Right. Another comment here says, billionaires. Here's somebody else who says, the pastor, LOL, no. Pastors are pandering. Somebody else here added the pasta and lobster. Somebody else who says, nobody, LOL. I was a manager. It was hard. Now, as you would expect, this question triggered a lot of people, like this woman who had this to say when she heard that video.
The question of who can correct black women, be for real. Everybody corrects black women. Everybody has something to say about black women. Everybody has an opinion every single day about every single thing that black woman does from the moment her 2 feet hit this earth till she is 6 feet under. And to try to say anything other when you're walking around this world as a black woman is real.
All right, that was that. And here's another response from another woman who was like, hold up. I kind of feel what the first lady was saying. You know, I understand where she's coming from. This video says, who can offer accountability and correction to black women? Here's what she had to say.
I saw a video recently where a black woman was asking who the hell can correct black women, and then another black woman stitched it and was all dramatic like, who's not telling black women? Y'all don't understand what she's saying. Black women overwhelmingly are not receptive to constructive or critical feedback, are not receptive to accountability. Okay.
Coffee. I'll say it. She just forgot it. We can forgive her.
Overwhelmingly so.
Right.
To where when somebody like me says being a baby mama is not the goal, y'all want to get in the comments and defend baby mama-ness as opposed to just reflecting and saying, you know what?
Right.
If I could do it over again, I would not have had this man's child, but I love my children. Woo, woo, woo. I could say being a crackhead is not what it is. Y'all gonna say, you judging. Woo, woo, woo. Like, y'all don't want any level of standard for yourselves because you're still full of shame for the decisions that you've made.
Right. They'll flip it. They'll flip it any which way they can. A lot of people responded back to that video with the woman we just watched. And these are women, black women, who also had the exact same experience when they tried to correct their fellow women in the so-called sisterhood. But most likely, if you try to correct someone in the sisterhood, I'm assuming there's a protocol to kick you out. This chick says, once I mentioned that I wouldn't have kids till I was married, and friends/family shamed me. Wow. She got shamed for saying that she wouldn't have kids before she was married. Let that sink in for a little bit. The people in her life, she had to stand up to the family in her life and say, I don't plan to have kids before marriage. They're supposed to be telling her that, giving her that wisdom. She's telling them that. They're shaming her. Once I got engaged and married, friends stopped talking to me. Jealousy. They don't like when you have standards, she says. Another woman responded back and says they don't like when you have standards because it reminds them that they do not. I want you guys to notice these comments have thousands of likes. So there's hope. So there's a good number of women out here who are drinking the coffee. It goes on to say, I'm proud of you for not sacrificing your dignity. Here's somebody else, a woman who says, I spoke on this on another post. It's the lack of a father figure because a man teaches reasoning and responsibility. A man teaches reasoning and responsibility. My dad humbled me regularly on life. Here's somebody else who says, I say this all the time. Friends won't even correct each other because they're afraid of backlash. So where's the accountability? Here's somebody else who added, we like to do things and then when we get called out on it, get angry and say, I'm grown, instead of reflecting and saying, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Here's another comment that says, that last part is the most important part. They can't take any form of criticism because they are still ashamed of decisions they made. Ego gets in the way and clouds judgment every time. Here's somebody else who says, this is why people be mad at me because I hold them accountable for their actions and they don't like it. My own mother can't stand me. Ooh. My own mother can't stand me, she says. She's serving the mom coffee. But out of all the videos, this one was probably the one that I found the most interesting because this actor creator believes she found the person that Black women will accept correction from. Check it out for yourself.
It really does seem to be true that the only person that can correct a Black woman is a gay man. I'm not coming for any,
Let me play that again.
the LGBT community at all. I'm not sure if y'all saw the post where the woman was asking the question, like literally asking, like, who can correct us? Like, who can correct us? And at first I thought no one. Like, there's no one on this earth who can correct a Black woman. Not a Black man, not a Black woman, not nobody. No one. No one can correct us. Can't nobody tell us anything. No one. And when I was in this live the other day, this man said it. The only person who can correct a Black woman is a gay man.
Wow.
And I'm like, you are right.
Wow.
You are right. I don't know why, but that is so on point. They value their opinion. And this is, I'm just saying that is where the correction can come from. They value that man's opinion. They value what he thinks, what he says she should wear, what she should do, how she should act. Like, it's like what he thinks is golden. Anybody else? I don't know. Like, when that man on that live said that, I was like, wow, that you're accurate. That is absolutely correct. That it's only from what I've seen. When I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, that's who they listen to. A woman telling you how to be a woman, you ain't gonna listen to her. Because why would you? She's only a woman. She's only a woman telling you how a woman should, But I don't know. But that made a lot of sense. And I was like, wow. Outside of that, nobody can correct us. Can't nobody tell us anything. Nope, no one.
That's crazy. That video made me think of this dating coach who's very popular on TikTok and is really popular amongst Black women and gives them dating advice. And I believe he's gay. I mean, this is not confirmed, but from what I see and hear, it sounds pretty accurate. Here's one of his videos. Check him out.
Girl, most women don't know how to date. And that's especially true if you're a woman of color, a Black woman, because you're not taught how to date, right? And, it's frustrating when things are not going your way because you were never taught. It's like trying to perform surgery, but you've gone to law school. It just doesn't work. So think of me as your fairy godfather, and I'm going to put you on game. I am going to give you some dating strategy, aka some dating boundaries that I want you to uphold and implement on your dating journey. Yeah? Okay, so let's get started. If you are dating a guy and you meet him online and he hasn't asked you out in a week, he's out. Now, if he is longer distance, let's say 2 hours away, he has 2 weeks. And if he's 3 hours away or longer, he has 4 weeks to come and see you and have a date with you. We never go to a guy that's long distance for the first rendezvous, aka meeting or date. We don't get flued out, girls. Yeah? Now, if you have gone out on a date with a guy and he hasn't reached out to you within 48 hours, he's out. It means you are an option and you're not the priority. I get women into relationships like at least 2 or 3 every week. And the guys that they're in relationships with, you have to beat them off with a stick. That's what it looks like. So I want you to have that as your threshold, as your expectation with a guy that is serious about you. And if he's not, he's out. Now, let's say you're further down the line and you have been kind of seeing a guy for 2.5 to 3 months. When the exclusivity conversation, commitment conversation comes up.
So there you guys go. And this guy has millions of views and women take his advice very, very, very seriously from what I see. And the other thing I'll challenge you to do is whenever you're on a page like The Shade Room, for example, whoever, it's like page 4 black women. When you look at the men in the comments who are not drinking coffee, click on their profiles. Click on their profiles. You will see that those are usually gay men. So what point am I trying to make? Well, I think the last lady that spoke may actually have a point. Listen, as always, I'm curious to know what you think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you as always for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.